diamond hair.
Hey guys, my name is Ellen Fox. Welcome to my channel, and I know what you're thinking. It has been 10 days since my last Wheel of Time review, but your girl has some pretty good reasons why she was not active. I just started college. Can you imagine that? I am in college now. I did not do really well in high school, so I did not think that I would go to college. I mean, I knew that I would give it my all now to go to college, and it's mind-blowing that I made it. I'm in college now. And secondly, I always talk about my novels and how I'm editing them, and that's why you guys can't read them. So I decided to take some days off of YouTube, and I edited one of my novels. It's called Cavities on a Stick, and it is available now. Just click the first link in the description box or in the comments, and it will take you to my book, and it is free completely, so you can read it. Basically, it is a young adult book with the same sort of semi-dark humor that you see in my videos, and for the first few chapters, it's just the humor, and then after that, it starts getting dark, and murders and kidnappings and assaults and sort of stuff starts. So I think you'll be okay with that. Come on, you're watching Wheel of Time, you'll be okay with that. So yes, I'm not going to be talking more about that. Let's talk about the 5th episode of the Wheel of Time. You guys have been saying that it is the best one, so you will be surprised to know that I don't think so. Let's talk. So the episode started with the aftermath of the battle, and I thought that was so beautiful because while they were mourning for the warders and the Aes Sedai they lost, I really liked how they honored the king. How Lan placed his helmet on his headpiece on his chest, and you could see the honor, the sadness, everything in his eyes. He was truly sad in that moment, and it wasn't just the fact that he knew that this was a man who was sidetracked by the false dragon. You could see the honor in his eyes, and I think as someone who truly believes in respecting and following her leaders, I think to honor your kings is one of the most amazing things. So to see that honor in Lan's eyes was so amazing, and to see that he was from the other side. He did not need to honor the king. He could have just chop his head off and put it on a pike or something, but he didn't do that. And I thought that was so amazing because that in a battle, both sides thought they were fighting for the right thing. They were fighting for the right cause. They believed they were right. So I think to disrespect the other one is so wrong. So just appreciate. I mean, it sounds wrong. I'm not going to talk about battle. I don't know the rules. I've never fought in it. I shouldn't be talking about this. But moving on, my God, step in. You are breaking my heart. I think the way he showed the emotionless sadness, it was so beautiful because you could see that he does not care. If he falls from the horse right now, he would not care. If he is punched in the face right now, he would not care. And yet the one bit of focus that he could put into something, it was keeping the horse with him, keeping Karini's horse with him. And I thought, just that level of sadness, it was just so saddening. You truly saw the bond that the Aes Sedai share with their warders. And I think this death, Karini's death, was important to show us how close Lan and Moraine are. Because that's, sometimes people like me who have not read the book, we do not understand the seriousness of the bond. This showed us the bond. Even when, Karini died and Seven in the middle of the war, he just stopped. He was like, oh, he felt all of it. Something inside of him broke. The bond broke. So I think the way he was portraying that emptiness, yes, that's it. He was empty. And I think that was so important to tell us how strong the bond is between Lan and Moraine. Another thing I noticed while watching this episode was the logo. It's a swirl that represents the wheel, but I never noticed how the face is a dragon. I mean, I didn't know it, but I didn't put the 2s and 2s together. It's the dragon reborn and the Wheel of Time. I don't know why I never put those 2s and 2s together. 1 month later. This is exactly what you have to do when you decide to make 8 episodes of a series that is 14 books long, and each book is this thick. What were you thinking? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me because you already spent all the money on the sets, the casting, the actors, the training. You did all of that. would it have killed you to make a decent number of episodes? Because when you make just 8 episodes, so many things are left unanswered, unexplained. If I did not have people explaining everything to me in the comments, I would have been a bull in a china shop. Like just the other day, somebody was really unhappy with my lack of knowledge and they told me that Nynaeve is in fact not the Dragon Reborn. And I was like, how was I to know? Is it not written all over my face that I have not read the books? But it just, explain things to me. 8 episodes are not enough. And also, while we're on the topic of Nynaeve not being the dragon, I'm really happy about that because I finally understood the concept of the dragon. It is not a good thing to turn out to be the Dragon Reborn. The Dragon Reborn already exists. He is just going to host one of these humans' bodies and use that to fight the Dark One. And then that human is probably going to go insane or die or something like that. So now I don't want Nynaeve or Rand or Egwene or anyone to turn out to be the Dragon Reborn because, come on, you cannot kill any of them. Or like if they go mad. I mean, I think Matt, because he's already going insane, I think if he turns out to be the Dragon Reborn, I think that would be good. I don't know why I have this beef against Matt, but I think if he turns out to be the Dragon Reborn, I wouldn't really be sad. Why do they still have Logain? I mean, he's been gentled. What do you want out of the man now? Unless, they're going to put him on trial as like the victim and be like, okay, Liandrin, Logain, you have one chance to explain yourselves. We're going to see who's the guilty one here. Apart from that, why would they want to put him on trial now? Even if he did start the war, you cannot exactly punish him for that because the man was mad. And according to the law, you cannot punish a retarded person unless the law is different in the Wheel of Time. Which does not make sense because he was mentally unstable. You cannot blame him for that. He did not choose that. And why do they have him in a cage? Or like have a rope around his neck? I mean, I don't think the man is running anywhere. He's lost the one thing that kept him going. Between Stepin and Logain, I think Logain is more broken and shattered. It's not even the fact that he just lost his magic. It's also the fact that he saw Nynaeve. This is something that I forgot to mention in my 4th episode review. When you looked at Logain, you could see that he was broken inside. He saw Nynaeve. He saw the amount of magic and he was like the burning sun. And this realization, if he had not seen Nynaeve, he might have been less broken. But now, everything he ever believed in himself being the Dragon Reborn, it was all gone. And he was broken. His glass bubble, it was shattered. So I think that's something that broke Logain more than the fact that he lost the magic. And another thing that I wanted to mention was... What was it? Yes, another thing that I wanted to talk about in the 4th episode review was Nynaeve. I was too busy crying and that's why I forgot to mention that. Nynaeve, how did she channel the magic? How did she channel that much willpower? I mean, we did know that she was eating at the warder's fire every single night, but that doesn't mean that she bonded with all of them, specifically Lan, so much that she channeled all this magic. I mean, I think it is also the fact that she's a healer, and that's why when she saw so many people around her and she was like, okay, I cannot heal them, and like her healer, this sense of guilt and this sense of this like urge to heal them, I think if that was the reason why she was able to channel, that makes sense. But they like literally put her above Lan and they were like, okay, she healed Lan. That did not make sense because you should have given us something more. 8 episodes are not enough. If I had not known that Nynaeve and Lan are going to be a thing ultimately, I do not see anything yet. Why is she interested in him? Why is he interested in her? We don't see anything. Moving on to Matt and Rand. Boy, do they look like they have spent a month on the streets, because Matt, he looks half dead, and I think we can relate. I consider myself a very strong and patient person, but after a month on the move on foot, I'm gonna be looking like Matt. You are not gonna be able to recognize me. And Matt, you and I were homies, because Rand, he looked rather fresh and rather hopeful, and that made me happy because with every passing day, Rand is becoming more and more likable. Like, he is not the boy from episode 2 anymore. What happened? What did you do to that Rand? What, with every passing episode, why do you want me to praise him? He's so good. He's so patient, and he's so happy, and he's like trying to look at the bright side, and he's making smart decisions, and it's just, wow, Rand, wow. And that's when they found the White Tower, and my God, was it beautiful. I mean, Tavalon, it is one of the most, not even one of the most, I'm just gonna go ahead and say the most beautiful city that I've ever seen. And when Rand said blood and ashes, I was like, what the heck? You do not swear, curse in the presence of a city that beautiful, because I would sell my soul to live in a city like that. It was so beautiful. And the fortress-like structure, the walls, they look like, really Mongol fortresses, and the White Tower, and the, sort of tiny streets, and yet the amount of people in them, and the camels and the animals, and my God, it was so beautiful. And the best part was they did not have a hideous yellow filter on it, because every single time America or Britain make movies about like the Middle East or India or Japan or any other part of the world, they always put a specific filter on it. Like if it's Mexico, they'll put a yellow filter on it. If it's India, they'll put a brown filter on it. If it's Japan, they'll put like a purple blue sort of filter on it, and it's just so annoying. But this was out of the dreams. This was so beautiful, so bright. Like it was like the golden hour. Can you imagine entering a city so beautiful at sunrise? It's like it slowly fills up with light, and they actually showed that scene in the episode, and I was like, take all my money, but give me a tiny house there. I can live my life happily if I can find a place like that.
A little girl on the farm. It wasn't you, Matt.
I never thought I would say this about Matt, but he is a truly well-written character, because at first they showed us how close he was with his sisters, and now he's losing his mind over the fact that he may or may not have killed that little girl. And even if he knows deep down that he did not do it, there is still that possibility that I could have saved her and I didn't, because I'm turning into this like madman. And I think that was just so amazing. And even though that a month has passed, he is still not over it. And it makes so much sense, because some things that you truly care about so much, they stick with you, especially if it's kids. Like I love kids. I love children, absolutely obsessed with them. I can play with children for hours on end. And I remember this one time, there was this little boy, and he was so adorable. And I remember saying, oh my God, you're so cute, I could eat you. And this guy overheard me, and he said, don't ever say that again. You sound like a pedophile. And I wanted to kill myself when he said it. His words still ring in my ears, because I sounded like a pedophile. I sounded like a pedophile. I would kill myself before anyone ever calls me that again, before I ever make someone feel like I am a pedophile, if a child or anyone feels threatened by me. Oh my God. So if Matt is losing his mind over possibly killing a girl, it makes sense, because I nearly lost my mind when somebody called me a pedophile.
Each of them has her own goal, her own agenda, her own pride and ambition.
In the White Tower, Moraine was giving some excellent advice, and even though Nynaeve has spent a month with her at this point, she still replied to that by saying this.
If I'm as powerful as you say I am, maybe it's you, Aes Sedai, who shouldn't underestimate me.
Nynaeve, love, a pen and paper is no good to an illiterate person. What good is a book in Korean to a person who does not know Korean? If you hand me some notes and I don't know how to read English, what the heck am I gonna do with these? So if you have the power to channel magic, not knowing how to channel that magic, you're freaking dumb. I don't think you're in a position to be challenging anyone. I mean, as Faisal said once, knowing little is worse than knowing nothing, because the moment you know little, your brain automatically starts imagining all sorts of things. They're like, oh, I know magic. Oh my God, I can set things on fire. But when the time comes, you do not know how to set things on fire, and you did not think of any other way of saving yourself because you thought you know how to set things on fire. I don't think my point is delivering well, but Nynaeve, you're good for nothing as of right now. Without the practice, without knowing how to channel that magic, you are good for nothing. So I don't think you should be challenging anyone, let alone Leandrin. Or as I like to say, only a certain type and a certain amount of knowledge is power, the rest of it is good for nothing. And you're going to learn a whole deal about that in my book, Carrots on a Stick, where there is a guy called Taylor who believes that knowledge is power, and one of these days he's going to prove it. Moving on to my favorite Tinkers, as if I did not already love them so much, they have white dogs, furry ones, who were feasting on bloody animals. I've said this before and I'll say it again. White stained by blood is so aesthetically pleasing. I don't care if you think I'm a sociopath, but it is aesthetically pleasing. Like those sheep, beautiful. And that's when Child Welder came in, that son of a bitch. When he slapped the woman, I cannot tell you the level of shock I felt, because I thought the dialogue, we run if we can, endure if we cannot. I thought that dialogue was so cool, but the moment I saw them actually endure something, I was like, I cannot be a tinker, because if I ever come across a person like Child Welder, or any of those children, as a matter of fact, any of those children, I am going to pick up a gun and I'm going to rise as a murderer, or I'm going to die. Because how can you let people like that walk around? Why are the Aes Sedai not doing anything about that? It is big time we have a separate color that just hunts down the white capes. That's it. How are you letting people like that just walk the streets? And the Emerald Seat, like, she brought Logain on this like 1 month journey to put him on trial, I don't know for what. And while these white capes are walking around, fucking killed him. They don't deserve to walk around. And then Ellen said, oh, you know, the white capes would not kill Tinkers, but they would hurt them terribly, and they hurt you. I had a near heart attack when that horse hit Ellen, and if he dies, what the actual bloody hell, blood and ashes. It was just so disgusting. The white capes, they're so disgusting. And yet I seem a pedophile to people.
You can cover the light with the palm of a child's hand, but a leaf, even if you crush it.
Disagree, ma'am. With all due respect, I disagree, because the light does not need the leaf, whereas the leaf needs the light for chlorophyll. So you should not have crossed the path of the light.
Loyal, son of Arendt, son of Halan. And who are you?
That's one shiny book you got there, Rand. And that's when we were introduced to a Trolloc. Somebody actually told me that Trollocs are not completely animals, and therefore they can like talk and do stuff. And Loyal was like such a cute example of that, because he wasn't as, you know, sharp of a talker, He wasn't as sharp a person as like humans. He wasn't, you know, sarcastic, but he was so to the point, so blunt, that he came off as like kind of tacky. And his entire conversation about Rand being an Ayuman, it was so freaking cool and so adorable.
An Ayuman from the Two Rivers?
I'm not an Ayuman.
An Ayuman from the Two Rivers who insists that he is not an Ayuman.
Which reminds me that I was actually supposed to rewatch the 3rd episode where Tom talked about the Ayuman, because I have no idea what the Ayuman are, because I was not listening carefully when Tom was talking about them, so I'll have to go back and rewatch that.
That is very odd. I like oddities.
If I ever find myself facing a Trolloc like that, I think I would happily let him kill me. I mean, you put up such a good act of being a good person, just do it. Or maybe not. I don't want to die. As much as I love my god, I am in no rush to meet him, so... But other things, like if he wants to go to the market and have some dumplings with me, I'll do it.
Always in such a rush, these humans. Never taking time to properly prepare for what they're walking into.
Oh, I can assure you, Loyal, honey, that Rand doesn't even have an idea of what he's walking into, let alone he'll prepare for it. God, take Matt or take Matt. Because I don't think Rand and I can survive more of Matt. If it's not enough that Rand has so many other things to worry about, like Egwene might be dead and Nynaeve is dead and we're going to the White Tower and they might kill us or gentle us, or like we're thousands of miles away from home, now he also has to play Matt's nursemaid. I get it, Matt has all these voices in his head, but like on a very serious note, why the heck was he sitting on the edge like that? I mean, imagine one of his imaginary friends just pushes him. There you go, dead now. Blood and ashes, what is that merchant doing over there? I mean, I'm pretty sure that he might be a hallucination, but what is he doing in Matt's hallucinations? Now I'm truly concerned for Matt because he is truly losing it. When Leandrin and Elena sat on those chairs, what were they thinking? Did they truly believe the people of the city to have such great aim that the tomatoes will only hit Loghain? Why would you sit on that stage like that? Like, imagine they had showed us Leandrin getting hit in the face with a really ripe rotten tomato. That would have been out of my dreams. Like, my soul would have been so happy that I would have even forgiven you for giving us just 8 episodes. Can you imagine Leandrin getting hit in the face with an egg? And then Matt got more hallucinations about Loghain laughing at him, which reminds me that Ella from Carries on a Stick also has hallucinations, which is why she has the nickname Nutella. I'm going to be promoting my book relentlessly, shamelessly, and repeatedly.
It was all worth it to see Leandrin's face when she accidentally got hit with a radish.
Was that supposed to be funny? Because it was not. As long as you don't show me what happened to Leandrin, it's not funny. So don't tell me what happened because that just increases my curiosity. I mean, I can edit it. I can edit that. Leandrin with a tomato on her face.
If you bond another Aes Sedai.
First you lose Moiraine and then tell me how easy it is to jump from one woman to the next.
Lan, how could you say that? I expected you to come in and say the perfect thing, and this is what you chose to say. You brought dishonor to us, to our household, to our cow by saying that.
Dishonor! Dishonor on your whole family! Make a note of this. Dishonor on you! Dishonor on your cow!
They melt the rings? Why? Nobody told us because the series is 8 episodes long and there is no time to explain anything. They're really fond of marinating women and roasting them, aren't they? That was the worst. I mean, I joked about it, but that was the absolute worst thing anyone could do. I personally think that rape is worse than murder. And they raped her. That was assault. And it's just that she is not traumatized by that because she's either going to lose her life or she's going to lose Perrin. And it shows. She's so concerned about that. She's thinking all about it. And that's why she's not being able to process what she's just gone through. And I think that is really clever writing.
And Aes Sedai would have tried to channel already. So I would have taken your hands already.
So that's why they chop off the hands. I mean, even if they can channel without the hands, I think to symbolize it, chopping off the hands, my God, that sounds barbaric, but so cool. I mean, it's cooler than keeping the rings. Chopping off the hands, oh, that sounds so cool. And then roasting the woman. Do they do this with every woman they find?
There. We've proved it then. Because Aes Sedai certainly cannot lie.
That child Valda is something I need you to write down for me and send to both Nynaeve and Rand to remind them that Moiraine cannot lie. So if the woman says that she's not going to betray you, she is not going to betray you. Please, stop suspecting her. No! Homie's a wolf! I did not expect that. I don't know. I thought Perrin might turn out to be this pathway that the Dark One uses to send messages through the nightmares, but I did not expect him to be a werewolf or something like that. That is so cool. I'm so happy for you, Perrin.
Did you know that Ogier have access to the White Tower grounds?
No. But why?
I went there and found the woman you spoke of.
Oh my god, he's so adorable, man. I love him. He's so adorable. Can you imagine anyone else doing that? And coming into the room like that and saying it like that? No, he's just so adorable. Does Chalvalda plan on playing tic-tac-toe on Perrin's back? See, little knowledge is no good. So Nynaeve, honey, go ahead and practice it.
What are you? What are you?
You will soon find out.
I don't believe it.
What are you?
A believer. But there's a certain force of will she cannot hide.
Leandrin, on what side of whose bed did you wake up to think that Nynaeve would want to be a Redaja? I mean, there's literally... there is a Urdu saying, Insan kutta paal le, par khushfahmi na paale. It means that a human should rather get a dog than getting delusional. Like, you're literally getting delusional right now. And I know that in the West, we're like, oh, a dog's cute. But back in the day, a person, if they were like considered really useless, they were like, okay, you're good for nothing, get a dog. It was like an insult. Get a dog. You cannot take care of anything bigger than that. So, Leandrin, get a dog rather than getting delusional.
And who are you trying to keep away?
My dad.
Sure, my dear.
That's cool too, because I sometimes think about it and I'm like, if I enter heaven and I find that person there, no, can't happen. I can't be living in the same heaven as that person.
I'll stay with you till morning.
Lan, are you offering a one-night stand?
She's out for blood, looking for someone to blame.
I suggest we blame one of the dead, because they're dead. It's not as if the Emerald Seed would pull them out of the graves to punish them, so we're all saved. And I know we shouldn't speak ill of the dead because... Why are we not supposed to speak ill of the dead? I mean, we seriously live in a world that would tell you to not speak ill of the dead, but these living human beings talk shit about them. Nobody cares. Gossip about them. Spread rumors. So what? It literally makes no sense. They're living. They have feelings. They can get hurt. And the world is okay with us talking about them. But these dead people, we should not speak ill of them. Just because they're dead does not make them angels, and I'm not becoming a liar for a dead person. So, sorry if you're dead. If you were a bitch, I'm gonna call you a bitch. So, yeah, but on this note, the Aes Sedai and the Waters we lost, they were good human beings, and I think they're dead, so let's just blame them for our safety. I mean, they did die to protect us, so let's just blame them. Sound like a bad person.
Moraine,
This place isn't what it was when you left.
The deal is in the details. Alana is not wearing shoes on the bed and Moraine is. That is such a perfect detail.
you're one of the only sisters strong enough to challenge her.
Ooh, the politics. Alana, you, honey, you're also strong. Why don't you do it?
I don't know. I've never been with a man.
Two men.
A foursome. A man just lost everything he ever cared about, and you're offering him a foursome. Quick question. How is he upright? Did he put the dagger in some part of his spine that helped him stay upright? And if so, how did they manage to lie him down? Because after you die, your body becomes stiff. So you cannot really change positions after that. So, boop, the dagger goes in. How did he not drop? And if he put the dagger in a way that kept him upright, then how the heck did they lay him down? Also, in a couple of countries in the world, the punishment for attempted suicide is death. We have to appreciate Daniel's acting. He did an amazing job. It was not too over the top. It was not too low. It was just the most amazing mourning I've ever seen. And I really liked how they mourned for him. But the one thing that did not make sense to me was again the fact that now they have only lost one person and they were all just beating themselves for it, which was really cultural. I mean, in different cultures, doing this means different things. So it was beautiful. But I think this should have been shown earlier when they lost 33 people. Now they've only lost one person. So the silent weeping in the earlier scenes would have made sense in this scene. Now they've only lost one person and they're like losing themselves. So I think that was the one thing that I found wrong about this scene. And when I saw Lana in the back behind Moraine, I was like, oh, what she might be feeling right now. The amount of embarrassment I felt watching that scene, like I felt third-hand embarrassment watching her stand there like that. She should have waited. She should not have offered him. I feel like any other Aes Sedai, a new one maybe, would have been a much better match for Stephen, not one who already has two warders. I mean, they might be a greater emotional support for him because like there are three of them and three people can take better care of one person than one person can. But he lost the strongest bond. Now is not the time for a foursome. So I think if he had been bonded with a new person or something like that, that might have saved him. Maybe, maybe not. But this death was necessary to show us how strong the bond between the Aes Sedai and the warders are, because they killed themselves without them. It was truly so important, and I love that they showed it. Mostly I hate deaths, but this one was necessary. And that's it. Now go read my book. The links will be in the description box as well in the comments, as I told you guys before. You just have to click the link and it'll take you straight to my book. It's completely free. Around 10 chapters are available right now, and I will make sure to keep uploading more chapters really, really quickly because I'm just so excited for you guys to read it. I think it's my very first book, so it might not be my best work, but I still think that you have to start somewhere. I mean, if I had not made my bad videos, I would not have been able to make these videos right now. So you have to read it. I mean, I had to write it and upload it. You guys don't have to read it, but if you do, I'll be really happy. And you don't have to sign up to read the book, but if you do sign up, it's free again. And you can sign up with Facebook or Google or iOS or Android. All of it works, maybe even phone numbers work. You sign up and then you are able to vote, comment, add my book to your library. And that's how you will get notifications every time I upload new chapters. And that's it. And I should shut up now. So thank you so much for watching this video. And that's it. Subscribe, like, comment, let me know your thoughts. And also check out my book. And follow me on my Instagram. It's at Elena_Fox. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the only Elena Fox in this world. And my very first published book is Cavities on a Stick. Available for you guys to read. Thank you so much and bye. Also, I think I should say this. Thank you for giving me the confidence to share my book. You guys are truly amazing. I never expected to receive this much love, and you guys are just amazing. I cannot thank God enough because it's very rare when I receive like a hate comment or anything like that. So it's just so beautiful. Thank you so much and bye.